All right, let's try this one more time. Hey everyone, this is Ryan Cramer. I'm the head of marketing and growth here at Frisbee. We're an international growth and expansion company helping sellers move their brands, I would say, or expand their brands into different markets around the world. And it's really exciting to be here and speak with everyone today. For people who are joining on our LinkedIn audio event, again, I want to say thanks so much for popping in and listening. This is a cool ecosystem. If you remember the old Clubhouse days, if you have a question or you can just sit there and listen in the background, like a podcast or an audio version of any sort of radio station, where you don't have to see each other. You can just look at the profile, listen to their voice, and really just speak to each other, which is really cool. So my job is to here at Frisbee is to talk to people and make sure that they understand and educate what's happening in the Amazon and e-commerce space when it comes to international expansion. So that's why I wanted to pop on here, give a little breaking news action, if you will, of things that are going on in the Amazon space. So last week, if you were privy to, again, if you're kind of walk through the house, the keys of the house real quick on the audio version. If you have a question, go ahead and click that, raise your hand or ask to jump on stage. I think that's what you can see. But if you're listening to this, we can go in the past, what has been going on in the Amazon space. You can just re-listen to or rewatch this too on our YouTube page. Just search for Frisbee. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and then you'll be able to rewatch it. But YouTube's the best place for that. But anyways, what's going on in the Amazon ecosystem? Lots in the international space, believe it or not. So for people who want to check out our YouTube page, you can actually find the presentation I'm going to share, but I'm going to read through most of it just to kind of provide what is the Amazon European Expansion Accelerator program and what that looks like for sellers moving forward. Businesses, we are in the business of helping people expand internationally. So this is actually a good thing to shed light on and what this kind of means for the future. So if you have a question, feel free to, again, raise your hand, ask it on our social media channels. If you want, you can submit it on those as well. So going to kick off our, I would say, presentation, breaking down the Amazon European Expansion Accelerator program for sellers. What is it? Well, the new program actually offers support and resources to help sellers expand their business internationally. A really cool couple stats that they tout is 2 clicks, 3 days. And that sounds ridiculous to be able to sell your products to over 176 million people in Europe, but that is the information that Amazon is touting. So what does that mean for sellers or prospective brands who are looking to expand internationally? That's a great question. I'm glad you all asked that. Basically what this program is, as an overview, again, if you have questions about it, feel free to raise your hand. But what the program is Amazon's newest end-to-end expansion solution. Again, EEA, I'll call it for short. It's an automated expansion solution which expands Amazon businesses across Europe in less than 3 business days, like I mentioned. It is by far the fastest way to scale your business across Amazon Europe stores. To date, I haven't heard of anything that can expand as quickly across as many multiple places and be available as once. And that is on Amazon's ecosystem, I would say. So it only takes a few clicks on the European Expansion Accelerator homepage to make the products available to millions of customers. Again, statistics show 176 million people who are shopping on e-commerce all across Europe in those 9 different marketplaces that Amazon serves. So pretty big numbers. Statistics show that very fast growing markets across all those markets. So again, what does European Expansion Accelerator give you access to? The countries are United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, which are the AMZ4 or the Amazon 4. Those are the core 4, if you want to call it, give it a nickname, if you will. And also, in addition, you get access to the Netherlands, Sweden, Poland, and Belgium, which are, again, very new to the Amazon ecosystem in the last 2 years or so. Poland and Belgium become available. Just a little quick disclaimer, though. You must be actually, as part of this ecosystem, this is not a brand new seller, and we'll kind of go over this in detail a little bit later. But as a brand new seller, if you're not even selling in Europe, you actually have to take into consideration, you must be registered as a professional seller partner with at least one active Amazon Europe account to use the Amazon expansion accelerator or Europe expansion accelerator, excuse me. So that's a little caveat I just want to make note of that we'll make sure we go back to a little bit later. But this is for a seller who might have entered into the United Kingdom or might have entered into Germany and looking to take that next step into multiple different marketplaces across Europe in order to be available and have their brands available to them. So just a little caveat, this is not for brand new sellers. If you are looking to expand to Europe, obviously reach out to Frisbee and our company, and we'll be able to help you get up and running into those first marketplaces. But to expand into Europe, to really grow into those 8 other markets, if you will, this is I was called the easiest way to do that. So just a little caveat there. So fun fact, before we get started, fun facts are always nice. So fun fact with what's going on with everything. And we have somebody who is actually looking to speak. So real quickly before we do this, I'll go ahead and bring up on stage real quick. Let me see if I can improve this. Asking to speak. Perfect. Again, first time for everything, so we're allowing to you have more buttons to click. So go ahead and mute yourself, and then I'm going to have you pronounce your name for everyone who's on YouTube who can't see the screen real quick. Can you hear me? Oh, it looks like you muted yourself right now. One second. Maybe you can hear me a little bit more now. Can you speak now? Oh, we lost him. All right. Anyways, for everyone else who's going back, we'll go ahead and just keep on trucking through. If you have a question, go ahead and you can certainly raise your hand to speak on LinkedIn. Again, I think my settings might have been a little bit off, but for this, for this first time, we're gonna just go with the flow. So, all right, fun fact. Going back to our expansion, fun fact into the Amazon European Accelerator. Fun fact for sellers over the last decade, again, counting it, let's call it round numbers, 2010 to 2020, Amazon has invested in more than 142 billion euros across the EU and UK and is excited to continue to invest in Europe and partner with European businesses. Statistics show that this is the top 1 or 2 markets that Amazon is continuously investing in, contrary to recent reports, cutbacks, layoffs, things of that sort. So Amazon even has this long history of investing into international growth and expansion. This is just one of the things that they've since rolled out that is just making it easier. And this is where they will continue to invest in to get access for brands to get to different markets quicker and easier as well. So the benefits of being a part of this program, again, my job is to help break down so it's understandable to Amazon sellers anywhere in the world. So access to new markets, excuse me. So you can obviously expand your business to Europe and reach millions of potential customers. That's the first and foremost fact. Saving time and resource. Amazon actually created this program to talk to its internal systems and tools so that it's easier to create all these different expansive offerings at couple clicks of a button, and also to make sure your listings are available in all those markets worldwide. So your full expansion journey to an Amazon store will be completed in only 3 business days. In this program, believe it or not, when it comes to margins, a lot of people say, what's the catch? How much does it cost? Nothing's free in this world. Well, it's actually free right now to sign up. So you can actually go into your listing if you're selling internationally in Europe, have at least one marketplace. You can actually expand to the rest of Europe for free. So again, nothing really is free, but Amazon is touting this as a free program to be a part of and sign up and take advantage of. So that is clearly number 1. Oh, excuse me. All right, scaling down a little bit. Scaling with ease. So that's another big benefit to this program. You no longer have to use several seller central tools to expand your business, which is always key. A lot of people hate the fact that they're looking at multiple different seller central tools internally to make sure that that they're looking to scale and making sure that makes sense. Well, you can actually it talks to itself. So with a lot of resources and tools that they're able to input in there, it's actually a really cool opportunity for them to expand with ease now. So all expansion steps are required to start selling in the new store are automated, which is always nice. Nothing. I mean, again, this is announced last week or 2 weeks ago at Max. Automations, there's always a little hiccups. So, but it's a good starting place too. So you can obviously enhance that and grow it over time as you need. But this is a good, again, launching pad, if you will. And of course, last but not least, increase sales. Expanding across multiple European stores helps diversify your revenue stream, giving you an advantage of varying holiday seasons and sales across peaks all around Europe. So different localizations, different holidays, different celebrations. If you're a brand that speaks to different parts around the world, this is an opportunity for you to, again, gain market share, increase sales when there might be down in seasonal items, maybe in the United States or different parts of the world. This is an opportunity to take advantage of that as well. Before moving on, just want to make sure that if no one else has raised their hands, going to make sure that we are going to move on and press on what other benefits are going on. So going on to, there we go. Eligibility criteria for the program. So something else is also nice. We kind of alluded to it earlier. Amazon professional sellers who have at least one European account for registration, you are eligible to be a part of this program. Again, in Seller Central, you can actually go in and activate and be a part of this program as of right now, and you would be able to expand to those markets. And again, as of soon as next week. So if you're already selling in Europe and you have everything already checked off, this is a program that you're able to be taking advantage of. Another key indicator where you might be wanting to take advantage of this is if you have great feedback in one of those markets that you're selling in. So again, it doesn't matter if it's just one, it could be 3, it could be 4. If you're not in all of the markets at once, as long as you have products that are selling well in those marketplaces, this is something, and have good positive reviews. That is something that a criteria I would suggest being a part of this ecosystem, or to try it out, I should say. And then eligible categories. Again, I'm gonna be probably the same person if I'm gonna give you advice. Who's the person or who's the brands that are gonna be in looking at expanding? They're gonna be your solid categories. Again, anywhere in baby, home garden, beauty, health and personal care, consumer electronics, apparel and jewelry categories, all very popular in this market. So it's important to kind of consider those. Again, Amazon's actually going to dictate a little bit about what almost a timeline of when you should think about international expansion, which is really cool. And I'll go into a little bit more in detail. But my first takeaways about this program just kind of highlight the major notions that all of us at Frisbee and anyone who dabbles in international expansion will continuously harp on. Again, importance of localization. Localization is going to be big and key about this. Adapting products and information and your descriptions and even your labels, all this stuff is going to be super important for you to still be able to speak to the audiences as well. So Amazon's going to get you there, but obviously it's important for you to kind of tweak and speak to that local consumer. The product selection matters. Again, not all products will perform well in the European market. No one promises that if it's a 1-to-1 ratio, it does well in the United States, it's going to do well in Europe. That's simply not the case. It's a good benchmark. It's a good one that's going to indicate potential. But again, if it's you gotta consider the local needs, the wants, and the cultural expectations when selecting products to sell. And then, of course, importance of pricing strategy. When it comes to European market, you have to take into consideration local taxes, fees, cost of doing business in Europe when setting prices. Again, in the tax ecosystem, when you have currencies that are exchanging, when you want to hold on to different currencies, I've spoken on the past based upon my background and experience. Sometimes you just want to hold on to the euro or the pound, and you want to make sure that everything is, you know, the value of a seller who's based in the United States when you convert back to the dollar. that can be a consideration when you take advantage of going into Europe. So things to consider, or wherever in the world you're based in, got to make sure that you're understanding the importance of the pricing strategy. So resources, again, available. I'll touch a little bit on this. Amazon touts translation services as part of this. Again, lots of great services out there. This is something that they're taking when you enter the market. We'll kind of go through the step-by-step guide, not in presentation form, but more of a kind of talking through points for people who are listening to this. And again, I'll keep checking in on seeing if people are asking questions. If you're asking a question, feel free to raise your hand if you want to talk a little bit after this, but more than happy to talk through it later. So anyways, more of the resources and support for sellers. Again, Amazon's offering translation services, marketing assistance in certain aspects of promotional tools, able to extend offers across all markets, which is a really cool feature. You can offer it, again, depends on the kind of product that you are selling. You can offer that across multiple different countries all across Europe. And then shipping and logistics support, which is also nice because us at Frisbee are very intimate with the headaches and the nuances of trying to get goods into a country, which that does not get handled by Amazon, which is good news for us, which is why sellers will continue to need Frisbee to get goods into a country. But I'll go into a little bit more detail, but about how the program gets kicked off. But long story short, Amazon will handle under the pan-European umbrella. They'll be able to move goods from one country to another under their own ecosystem, and you will be able to get sales and not have to worry about shipping once you get your goods into that point market, that point account, if you will. That, again, I think is important for people to understand. Once you're into that point account, you'll be able to have Amazon. Again, if you're selling it via FBA, you can do this also via FBM. But if you're an FBA seller, you can actually expand this to different markets, and they'll fulfill it in their own networks. So under the pan-European, pan-EU umbrella, they'll be able to fulfill products in different countries and still get the Prime badge. So it's also very important to understand. All right, before I kick off conclusions and next steps, obviously, I want to make sure that we kind of go into a little bit more detail. For those who are watching live on our social channels, I'll just go ahead and be a talking head for a little bit. But basically, all these documents are accessible and are open in the Amazon, Seller Central. This is something I wanted to break down for people. But for everyone who's on LinkedIn and you kind of listening to this and you're just passively learning about this over the last couple of weeks and you're not really sure what it means, just want to kind of go over some of the FAQs that they talk about and really help people understand what that means. So, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just, again, offering people who are on LinkedIn. I appreciate everyone who is joining today. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll go ahead and just kick off some of the things that made a lot of sense to me and had questions about once I did a little digging. So some of the things that people would consider, obviously, a lot of people, when it comes to expanding internationally, there's a lot of barriers seemingly in terms of compliance, regulations, shipping, taxes, things of that sort. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take each of those topics and I want to make sure that people understand that, hey, it's still not scary. It's this is nothing but even better circumstances for sellers who are trying to grow their brand all around the world. So basically, some of the components that are highlighted, and I want to make sure people know as they're listening to this, why should you expand if you're already selling Amazon European stores? Well, selling in a few stores only exposes your business to country specific, regulation changes, but across several Amazon Europe stores, it diversifies your revenue stream. Obviously, the benefits of holiday peaks across Europe, not every country is exactly the same. Europe as a bucket is completely diverse. if you break it down even further, again, for Italy versus Spain versus UK versus Poland, everyone has different holidays and seasons. So it actually allows you to diversify your products and sales and to get different revenue pieces of stream to your business. So if you're only in one, you're only containing yourself to that one ecosystem. If you're going to be diverse all across Europe, that's not more opportunity for you in your resources to be able to grow. Everyone's favorite question: what are your VAT obligations when expanding across different stores? Well, first and foremost, when you get started, you have to have at least one store set up in Europe. And obviously, if you're at a certain threshold of a seller and you're selling a certain amount, again, category dependent or country dependent, I should say, you're going to have a VAT number already set up, and your obligations are going to be going through that one market. But expansion means obviously more regulations, more tax obligations. But when expanding to another European store, you're going to be required to register for a VAT in that country. So expanding, you're still going to have to get a VAT for those numbers that you expand to. And again, this program is not an all or nothing program. This is a select and can expand quickly within those couple clicks in 3 days that they tout. But this is something that this is something that's not going to be, you never have to get another VAT number ever again. But this is something you certainly have to consider, and then you have to know that down the road you will have tax obligations when selling into different countries. So while each Amazon selling partner is solely responsible for being VAT compliant, there's obviously a list of educational resources. We have partners here at Frisbee that have those opportunities for people to sign up for VAT numbers in those countries as well. So yeah, to answer your question, long story short, once you start to expand into those countries, the notion is you are expected to again apply for and get a VAT number for that country as well. So when signing up, the other question was how easy is it to sign up? And Ryan, if I'm asking this question, Ryan, you're talking a lot about expanding, but you already have to be selling in Europe, which is very true. This is kind of a half step into doing and scaling quicker. Again, this is not a program for sellers who aren't even in Europe. This is something to take one and make it into 5 or 9 total markets or 7, however your business is going to scale. So you can pour all the gasoline on that flame already, or you can kind of get excited and to grow quickly. So again, this is a Amazon program, not a best practices program. This is one that's new and available. So people who are looking to just take off, you need to have stepping stones first. So how the program works is once you're into Europe, you're able to grow through Europe through that one ecosystem. So if I'm set up already in Germany, I can take my German account and then I can expand to those different markets. It pulls your catalog. This is I'll call it your source country or your source, entry into Europe. So everything will stem from this one tree, if you will. So the roots throughout Europe grow from your, again, Europe account. So Amazon will take your catalogs, your offers, your shipping settings, everything like that, and they will take it and they will shoot it across all the other markets. Take your listings and they will translate it for you based upon what you already have in that market. Now, again, that's great for the German market. However, as we all know and have learned in the past, not every single listing or category makes sense for all those different other markets. If you're just talking to the German market, again, there are a lot of straightforward answers. There's no fluff there. It's all matter of fact language that you're using. It's localized correctly to the German market. That's not going to fly the same in Italy. It's not going to fly the same in Spain, UK, so on and so forth. So again, you do have to tweak as a seller. And then again, there's lots of resources out there that can help you with that. In this capacity, as your source, you can actually expand quickly. But again, all the settings of shipping, international shipping availability, if I'm FBA, FBM, all that's preloaded in there, and it will all already be available. But that's how basically your listings are built, is what's already currently listed. If I have one marketplace I'm in, if I have three, for example, I'm in Germany, Italy, and Spain, it will take, however, it will take and pull from your source market whatever has the most products that are available and the most offers that are available. So to kind of tell you how Amazon's going to pull all this information from, they're going to, in your have a unified account, that's what they're going to pull from. Or instead of not a unified account, excuse me, if you have multiple different accounts, that's what it's going to be. So what stores are not available to expand to? That's another good question. You might not be each use the country. You have to use the country drop down in this ecosystem. And again, I won't go through details because each brand in each category, you're going to have to sort of sift through, and you're going to have to make sure that the product you're selling is going to be product compliance, going to be compliant based upon the rules and regulations of that country, which again, another thing that Frisbee does. But in order for it to be able to expand to that country, that's what you have to consider as well. So a quick compliance check, either through someone's experience like us to expand into that country, you will need to make sure that you are responsible for those requirements. The other things I want to make sure that are available, this is available for merchant fulfilled network shipping as well. You can certainly be a part of that. So you can, if you're selling and partnering with other merchant fulfilled networks and 3PLs in Europe, you can certainly do that as part of this ecosystem. And there's also an ability to, there's a pricing rule calculates fulfillment fees based upon a bunch of factors as well. So again, knowing your numbers, making sure that you understand what it is, what those guidelines are, and making sure that you're going to be profitable in each of those countries too. So throughout the ecosystem, I'll have other series that will be able to break it down into, what you can look for, how those fees are calculated, things of that sort. So you can check out our blog later on, and we'll talk more in detail about this program. But overall, high level, I want to make sure that people are understood what this program was, how exciting it is, and then all the nuances of the team at Frisbee can help answer those questions as part of that expansion process. This can be something that's available to you. Again, it might not be for everyone, but it can certainly accelerate quickly. That brand, once it's starting and selling in Europe, you can expand really quickly into the other markets, the other 9 total, but you're already selling 1. So simple math, you have 8. So you can be as in quickly as 8 different markets all at once, with a couple clicks of a button in a few days. So that opportunity, I think, leads into my conclusion a little bit later that I was sharing with people online, is that I think this is a big opportunity for sellers to take advantage of what Amazon is showing with these programs as they're rolling out quickly, that the expansion opportunity for sellers and the visibility of their brand and their products is very significant. They take that seriously. They would rather have your products be everywhere at once, rightfully so, instead of just conduced down to where they currently are. So that being said, that's kind of the wrap up of what is the Amazon European Expansion Accelerator. It's a really cool program that I'm still learning about, but I wanted to break down in a simple presentation of that program. We didn't have many people talking today. 100% fine. First time we're doing this. We're doing this live presentation, only talking heads. I'm used to just speaking to a camera and speaking to other people. So that being said, would love to answer any questions for people out there. Go ahead and drop them in the comment section, or you can message me directly on LinkedIn, or you can email me, ryan@frisbee.com. So that's it for today's kind of breaking news segment. A nice little half an hour, if you will, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. For everyone on LinkedIn, we appreciate you tuning in for a little bit of a listen in. Hopefully you're enjoying your work as you're listening to me know the opportunity of this program. If you have questions, again, reach out, ryan@frisbee.com, or you can follow us and email us at support@frisbee.com. That's it for me. I'll go ahead and check out with no other questions, and we'll catch you guys next time.